K-drama Haven family, sit down, grab a tissue, because what I'm about to share with you is the story that has haunted fans for years. The mystery, the silence, the distance that no one could explain. For so long, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's story was one wrapped in rumors, whispers, and endless speculation. But today, the truth has finally come to light. And what really happened between them? It's more shocking, more emotional, and more powerful than anyone ever imagined. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, because this is one story you cannot afford to miss. The rise of a legendary duo. It began like all great stories do, unexpectedly. Xiao Zhan, the artist who rose from humble beginnings, a man with a voice like velvet and a heart of gold. Wang Yibo, the quiet powerhouse, a dancer whose precision and charisma turned every stage into magic. Individually, they were stars. Together, they were destiny. Their on-screen partnership ignited something the world had never seen before. The chemistry, the laughter, the bond, it was electric. Fans weren't just watching a drama. They were watching history being written in real time. But with great light come shadows. And soon, those shadows began to spread. The silence that shocked fans. After their rise came the silence. No joint interviews. No public appearances. No new projects together. Fans who once saw them laugh side by side began to wonder, what happened? Rumors spread like wildfire. Some claimed it was industry politics. Others whispered of personal differences. A few even suggested betrayal. And through it all, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo said nothing. Their silence was deafening. And in that silence, fans were left to fill the void with theories, edits, and prayers that one day, the truth would come out. The hidden struggles. Insiders have now revealed what really went on during those years. Behind the smiles, behind the fame, both Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo were under unimaginable pressure. Xiao Zhan, fighting against storms of controversy, standing strong in the face of waves designed to break him. Wang Yibo, carrying the weight of his own rising career, balancing music, acting, and the expectations of millions. They weren't just separated by schedules. They were separated by survival. Both men were fighting their own battles, privately, quietly, each in their own way. And that's why the silence wasn't rejection. It wasn't betrayal. It was endurance. Two souls trying to survive in an industry that often demands everything and gives nothing back. The reunion that revealed everything. And then, years later, it happened. The reunion. At first, no one knew what to expect. Would they acknowledge each other? Would they look away? Would the silence continue? But the moment they stepped onto the same stage, the truth was revealed without a single word. Their eyes met. Their expressions softened. And in that one glance, fans saw everything they had been wondering about for years. There was no anger, no bitterness, only respect, only history, only a bond that time could not destroy. The truth wasn't hidden in scandals or betrayals. The truth was in their silence. And that silence meant survival, endurance, and eventually healing. The fans who never let go. K-drama Haven family. The truth about Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo isn't just about them. It's about you, the fans. Because through the silence, through the rumors, through the darkest times, it was the fans who never let go. They trended hashtags, they defended, they prayed, they cried. And when the reunion finally happened, it wasn't just two stars meeting again. It was millions of hearts being healed at once. One fan wrote, "Now I understand. They were never gone. They were just surviving. And now they're back, together in their own way." That is the truth. So, what really happened between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo? The truth is simple. Life happened. Fame happened. The industry happened. But through it all, their bond, unspoken, unbroken, remained. And now, with their reunion, the world finally sees what fans always believed. That destiny has a way of bringing the right people back together. This isn't the end of their story. This is just the next chapter. The weight of silence. K-drama Haven family. To understand the truth, We need to step into their shoes. Imagine this. Two young men, rising to fame faster than anyone could have prepared for. Every smile dissected, every gesture analyzed, every word turned into headlines. For Xiao Zhan, a gentle soul, an artist at heart, the storm that hit him wasn't just about his career. It was about survival. He became the target of controversy, an avalanche of criticism that could have broken anyone else. For Wang Yibo, reserved, stoic, carrying an aura of cool detachment, the silence was his shield. But behind that shield was a man balancing multiple lives: actor, idol, racer, dancer. A man stretched thin by the demands of an industry that never sleeps. They weren't avoiding each other. They were surviving. And when fans began to ask, why won't they speak? The answer was simpler, yet heavier, than anyone imagined. Because silence was the only way to protect what was real. The reunion that spoke louder than words. Their reunion wasn't planned as a grand gesture. It wasn't orchestrated for drama. But when Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo appeared on the same stage, it became clear that silence had not erased their bond. The way Xiao Zhan's lips curved into a faint smile when their eyes met, the way Wang Yibo's usually icy gaze softened for just a second, it was a story told without dialogue. Fans said it best. You don't fake that kind of look. Not after years apart. Not after everything. And in that moment, the truth was revealed. No betrayal. No hatred. Only endurance. Only survival. Only an unspoken respect that had weathered storms far beyond the public eye. The world watches together. What made this reunion even more powerful was that the entire world witnessed it together. In Beijing, fans outside the venue held banners, their voices trembling as they screamed both names at once for the first time in years. In Seoul, fan cafes live-streamed the event, strangers hugging like lifelong friends, united in tears. In Los Angeles and London, international fans woke up in the middle of the night, refreshing feeds until the moment clip surfaced. And then it spread. On Twitter, the reunion that healed millions. On Weibo, a miracle after years of silence. On TikTok, edits flooded the app, showing their earliest moments of laughter spliced with this reunion, captions reading, "Some bonds never die." It wasn't just trending. It was history. Industry whispers. But behind the curtains, whispers emerged. Some insiders revealed that attempts to bring Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo together had been made before, but the timing was never right. Contracts, schedules, politics, everything stood in the way. And yet, fate had its own plan. A staff member at the venue revealed. When they saw each other backstage, they didn't say much. But the look in their eyes, it was like seeing an old friend after surviving a war. No words were needed, just presence. That's when people began to realize the silence all those years wasn't distance. It was waiting, waiting for the right time, waiting for the world to be ready again. The healing of millions. K-drama Haven family, the truth isn't just about Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo. It's about the millions of fans who never gave up. One fan wrote, "I've carried their story in my heart for years. Seeing them together again healed something in me I didn't know was broken." Another said, "This reunion taught me that real bonds don't fade. They just wait for the right moment." The healing wasn't just in Asia. It stretched to every corner of the globe. From teenagers who found joy again, to older fans who said it reminded them of long-lost friendships, the reunion became more than entertainment. It became therapy. It became hope. It became proof that, even after years of silence, truth finds its way out. The future we're all waiting for. And now, the biggest question remains. What comes next? Will Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo share another project? Will they stand on stage together again? Or will this reunion remain a once-in-a-lifetime miracle, a moment frozen in time? Insiders hint that this may not be the end. That discussions, collaborations, even secret plans may already be on the table. But whether they work together again or not, one thing is certain. Their story is far from over. Because the truth has already been revealed. And the truth is this. Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo are not just stars who once shared a stage. They are legends bound by destiny. And destiny, as we've seen, always has the final word. A legacy beyond entertainment. K-drama Haven family, remember this. What really happened between Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo wasn't betrayal. It wasn't hate. It was life. Two men navigating storms, protecting what mattered, and waiting for the day when silence could finally turn into presence again. And when that day came, the world watched, the fans cried, and history was made. This story isn't ending. It's evolving. Because some bonds aren't just written in contracts or scripts. They're written in destiny. And destiny has only just begun to write their next chapter.